Welcome back, rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. Today, we're going to be starting Arcade Season 2 HQ1 on Hardcore. So, let's take a look at our deck. If you remember our old deck that we had, Zatman CR, Jackie CR, Uranus, Grax, Murray, Jose Star, Makra, and Salzburg. This has been our go-to deck forever, but it seems that we can no longer use this because if we check out Season 2 AD1 Hardcore, your deck cannot contain any collector characters, which means that now we can no longer have Jackie or Zatman CR. Thankfully, we can still save Grax, we can still save Uranus, we can still save Makra, and Murray is going to work out just as well. All of these cards, absolutely fantastic. So I think we're going to want to keep our Sacrom half. However, we need to find something to fill or fix this this poor uppers half that no longer exists. So if we go down here again, even if we go to best character only, obviously our first choice would be, okay, well let's try to see if we can save uppers. Obviously we've got Jose Star, which is the huge kind of gap created, the attack manipulation beast. We've got Salzburg, which works really well as the defeat as well, even though it might only do 1 damage. You can do 2, so that's really amazing as well. So what we're looking for is really a 4-star replacement for Jackie, and maybe a 3-star replacement for Zatman. Now, one of the difficulties for this is that I'd really like to keep my SOA, because SOA has a wonderful way of just kind of shutting everything down. However, I do not think we have such an option waiting for us here in uppers. And so it looks like we might not be able to use uppers in the upcoming stuff. One thing we could do, though, and a few things we can consider, we've got 2 options for us. First, we could go with someone like Nelly. Obviously, Nelly is going to get ripped apart by SOA, but with the minus power, it's going to make the opponent have to pill quite a bit in order to get over Nelly's low... well, make them pill quite a bit to get over Nelly's high attack manipulation with a low power. So one thing we could think of is Nelly. We could also think of someone like Maurice, because with the -3, that's going to work really well to be even more DR, which would be absolutely fantastic, actually, overall. Then we're also looking at 3 stars that we could use. We could throw in someone like Ruby or Oxen, and so actually I think we'll go ahead and try that. I've had people recommend before that instead of Zatman to throw in Ruby, because with Ruby being only 5 power, the AI is going to be like, oh, I can beat 5 power, no problem, and they will go really far in. And so that would actually be quite a bit of fun, I think, to watch the AI go in really heavy against Ruby with absolutely no ability to their advantage. So that means that we're going to be left with a 4-star, and we've got to decide who do we want. If Ruby is taking that SOA, then what we really want is someone who is like Zatman, who can take on those heavy hitters, which means Nelly is probably going to be a bit better. We've got all the DR we need in our other half, so why don't we go ahead and stick Nelly in and see how this deck works out as our new kind of sack uppers dual deck. So we've got Uranus, Grax, Ruby, Murray, Nelly, Jose Star, Makra, and Salzburg. I'm going to go ahead and save my preset. Create a new preset. So create this, and let's call it, again, Arcade Sack Uppers. Oh, I have semicolon here. Might as well keep it the same way. Sack Uppers. We'll call it Sack Uppers Hardcore. Alright, I'm going to go down to the end and hit save. Sorry you can't see me hit the save button. The screen is not big enough on this side. I have an external monitor, and so I am trying to record these on my external monitor because I thought it might work a little better. Alright, so let's try this out. If this does not work, then I may actually go with a, I was also thinking maybe a Junks deck might work really well on the other side. I think it would be a lot of fun to use a Junks half. So we'll try this one out, and then we'll go to Junks. So let's get into it and see how this works. hello there. It looks like finally Classic has been renamed into Free Fight, or the room. Sorry. Couldn't help myself there. Alright, let's head into Arcade. Again, another reason the substitutions we've made are good is because we didn't lose any damage at all. So that is a definite bonus for us, to not lose any of that. Alright, we're going to be going. Our prize for this mode is obviously going to be the 2nd gen Pussycats Ld character, which would be absolutely amazing. So before we hit this fight button, I'm going to go ahead and try and make sure there is no lag here, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, sorry, I just wanted to make sure to remove any potential chance for lag, so let's get into our first round. As always, the goal is to spend absolutely 0 credits on this. So, level 1, okay, we've got Cherry, Ellie Mae, Phelan, and Ivana versus Grax, Uranus, Nelly, and Ruby. Obviously, we need to look out for Cherry being able to get all of that heal in on round 1. Thankfully, we had drawn Ruby. So we're just going to start with the 0 pill. It doesn't even matter that they have Ivana. We already know Ivana is going to come out because when SOA is played, stop cards are like 99% of the time played. So we will see Ivana here. We're only going to do 1 damage, but that's okay because we prevent the first round Cherry play, which is exactly what we wanted. So we do see Ivana, and here's the 0 pill. Alright, so no problem there. I am happy to do 1 damage with Ruby if it delays the chance for Cherry to be able to get to her heal. The other thing is we don't need to worry about Cherry as much unless they actually get some of this damage off, because Cherry is only effective if we can get to this max 10, and currently we are at 14. So if we respond here to Ellie Mae, it does not matter as long as Ellie Mae does not do a lot of damage, so we're just going to 0 pill our Uranus. Always play Uranus before Grax because Uranus only has 5 power. Again, we win because they're trying to bide more time. Uranus is going to do 3 damage. We are already at 10, which means that this game is all but over because I do not think Phelan cannot beat Grax. Nelly cannot necessarily... Phelan beat Nelly? Is it 4? That would be 52. Minus 10 would be 42. But even at 339, we could beat me, but you're going to have to play at least 1 pill, so 12 times 4 is going to be 48, which would be 38, and I'd be able to hit 39 with Nelly, so this game is all but over after we play this, so good game, AI. This is one of those reasons that when you try and calculate it all, you always want to make sure that you also take into account the fact that they are going to have to play 1 to beat you with this other card. So that is the reason that we will still be able to beat Phelan with Nelly. Chances are this is just a 2-pill Cherry. Oh no, okay, so sometimes the AI does go in a little bit more when it's in this situation because I think it knows that when it gets to this point, it kind of has to go half-half if the AI is behind. If the AI is ahead, it will respond quite differently, but if it is behind, a lot of times it will play a few extra pills because it's expecting you to try and, shall we say, cherry pick it? Ha ha ha, cherry, anyway. Alright, I guess I'll just be quiet now. Alright, so round 1 is a lock. We continue on to round 2 now. Not round 2, but, stage 2. Assuming we don't time out on ourselves. Alright, come on, little computer, you can do it. Alright, stage 2. Candace, Ivana, and Noemi versus Grax, Makra, Jose Star, and Nelly. Okay, so again, we need to look out for these large damage cards. Brittany will be able to hold us, but we don't need more than that. So again, we usually start with our little wall to see what happens here. Usually, as we saw before, they will just let the wall go through, especially if they know it's only going to get 1 damage. I'm expecting to see Ivana here, or maybe Brittany. Probably Ivana. Since there's no SOA, this would be the perfect time to dump Ivana. Oh, Candace! Okay, so are you actually making a play? Okay, so we do see the large play by Candace to try and beat Jose Star. Again, 5 damage is a little painful for us because we're going to have to do 7 in order to catch up with the -2. Or maybe even 9 if it's over 2 rounds. got Ivana here. And obviously we do not want a low character to go against Noemi later. So actually Nelly is our most dangerous character to keep for the next two, because Noemi is going to get her choice between Makra or Grax, and we would love to force Noemi to have a very difficult time. So here Ivana's only got 2. There's no additional DR other than the 1s, so I think we're going to just play Nelly with, I guess we could Fury, why not? Because I honestly do not think that Ivana's going to go that far in, and even if Ivana does, it's going to have to be 4 pills, which is an easy win for us. Alright, so there we go, we get our 6 damage, which now puts us ahead of the opponent, and we still have more pills. Again, if you see a big play on round 1, you're usually going to see a nothing on round 2 to try and come back from that. Obviously next, it really doesn't matter, Makra is going to be able to beat whoever he goes up against. So why don't we just throw our Grax with nothing, because that is going to force the opponent to play a few pills to win, and then even if they do win, even if Noemi decides to try and Fury just to attempt to be in this game, still only going to get 2 damage off. So this is one of the beauties of making sure that you have both Uranus and Grax on your team, because you've got like a very, very high chance of drawing at least one of them in every single one of your hands. And when you have this kind of power later in the game, if you've got the pill advantage and a life advantage, let's say, then it's definitely all but over. And Noemi and Makra, Makra is going to take Noemi to 3, Makra will only be at 4, but we don't even care. I could probably Fury for the KO if I wanted to, but you know, there's just not going to get any credit for it anyway, because I don't have any missions with him or anything like that. I already got my 500 wins, so that's all but over, and stage 2 is a lock. Let's move on to stage 3. Stage 3. And one of the nice things about the change in this deck is that now that I've removed my CR cards, this is going to be a little bit easier for some of you to get a hold of if this deck actually does work as well as I'm hoping it will. It seems like it is so far. Much less expensive to buy Nelly and who was the other person I chose? I don't even remember now. Nelly and Ruby. Much cheaper than Zatman and Jackie CR. Alright, so you've got Cherry, Ellie Mae, Ivana, and Noemi versus Makra, Murray, Nelly, and Salzburg. So again, we've got this issue. We need to worry about Cherry. We do not want Cherry to be played first. Makra would be no good there. Murray will force quite a bit of pills. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and start with Murray, because Salzburg is really good to play later for the additional 2. If we played Salzburg first, it would guarantee a Cherry play, and Cherry would definitely get through, and Cherry would not spend as many pills, because Salzburg is only 5 power. If there was not a heal card or a poison card like Cherry out, I would definitely lead with Salzburg. But because there is, we want to force Cherry, if Cherry is going to go all in, to play as many pills as possible, which is great. I'm expecting at least an 8 or 9 pill. Oh, 0! Even better! Even better, alright. So the opponent realized that it was not, or at least thought it was not worth trying to go in versus Murray. So that just takes care of all of our issues pretty much for the rest of this match. It doesn't matter what Ellie Mae does here, really. I'm just going to throw Salzburg, because Salzburg is not going to have a good time. Obviously, Noemi is still here, which is unfortunate for us. Again, it doesn't matter that Ellie Mae gets through, does the 5 damage, but we're still going to be ahead life-wise, because we pull the 2 off with Salzburg, which means we go into this last round with a much higher ability. Makra is going to be able to beat either of these 2. The problem here is that if Noemi goes against Nelly, let's say, if Noemi goes against Nelly, Nelly is not going to be the winner here. And if she Furies, I cannot do that much with Makra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Makra first, because Noemi, if Makra does go in and does Fury, I will be able to DR with Makra, and Nelly has more damage, so Nelly will be able to go first. Playing Makra will also force him to hesitate with Noemi. Now, I'm fairly certain we'll see a 0-pill Ivana. With Noemi now being reduced to 4, that's going to put Noemi at 40, or 30 after the 10 that is reduced, which means that we only need 10 pills in order to win, and overall that gives us the win with Nelly. So there, the important thing was not to play Nelly first, but to play Makra, our stronger card with the DR, because that allowed us to determine that Noemi would definitely be played against Nelly, and Nelly definitely had enough pills in order to win, and that ends this round. So stage 3 is a lock, and now move on to stage 4. These matches are quite difficult if you cannot predict what the card is that is going to be played next. But if you know generally how the AI works, how it thinks, it's just like playing an opponent that you know tends to play a lot of pills on certain cards, or who tends to save for later rounds, or once you kind of know that information, it's a little bit easier. Alright, so we've got Baby Q, RB, Brittany, Ellie Mae, and Mina. Gotta look out for Mina on round 1 versus Grax, Murray, Uranus, and Jose Star. Jose Star not doing us a lot of good here. Obviously, no bonus, which is unfortunate for us, because that's not going to do us any good whatsoever. We've got to look out for the Mina, so our best bet here is to force Mina to play a whole bunch of pills if possible. We'll start with Murray. My guess here is that we'll see one of two things. We could, well, three things. We'll either see a high pill Mina, a zero pill Mina, or we'll see a relatively high pill Baby QRB. Anything else? Oh, Brittany. Brittany, okay. Are you throwing a 0 and... Okay, well, excellent. No problem there, because Murray goes ahead and gets the 4 in, which is perfectly fine with me. Now that we are above the total number of stars, we know that Mina will be played with quite a few pills. And while that is unfortunate, at the very least, we want to make sure that Mina's total impact is not that high. Now, the question is here, do we want to save Uranus and Grax in order to cause a bunch of trouble in the final stages? Should I just throw Jose Star here? I think I'm going to go ahead and throw Uranus anyway, because I don't think it matters. Throwing Uranus here means that Mina's only going to... Okay, so Mina is only going to get a maximum of 3 out of all of this, making her less effective in total than our Murray, which means that we are technically up by 1 right now, because she will be able to go up to 14 and then 15 if we did nothing. So that means that all we have left is Grax and Ellie Mae. And so, because we have far more pills, I think we want to throw Grax first, because if they play a bunch of pills versus Grax, they're going to get almost no damage off of that. We can easily combat that with the Furied Jose Star. And so again, even though Grax is the card that we want to win with, we want to go ahead and play him first, because he's also got all that DR, which discourages playing any pills, and we have enough pills to win against Ellie Mae or Baby QRB with Jose Star as is right now. Here's the Baby Q. Doesn't even matter if this is a 2-pill. It's a 0 pill. Because Baby Q is only going to do 1 damage one way or the other. And we've already got Ellie Mae covered with Jose Star, because we just have so many more pills. Again, the big advantage of having attack manipulation on our side against a clan like Pussycats is that they have no attack manipulation, and so the AI usually the AI will not do just enough to try and squeak by. You know, like play just enough to beat an old. Usually the AI will not do that. Sometimes it does, but usually it will not. And so when it gives you that kind of pill lead, we are now safely and easily onto stage 5. Go ahead and take a break to make sure that all of the sound is synced up right. Right, we've got Choco, Clover Noel, Ellie Mae, and Roxy versus our Grax, Uranus, Jose Star, and Ruby. Thankfully, we did not draw Murray versus this Choco draw. We have to look out for cards like Clover Noel and Roxy, obviously. None of these are particularly scary here at the beginning. So I think, again, we're going to go ahead and start with Ruby. with a 0 pill, because Roxy would still just do 1, Ellie Mae 2, Choco 4, Clover Noelle 4. Chances are, versus this Roxy, we will either see versus our Ruby, we might see Roxy with quite a few pills, we might see Choco with quite a few pills, or we'll see someone like, I don't know, Roxy with nothing. Okay, there's Choco. Question is, have they gone in far or not? They have, because if you notice Ruby here, if we played all 13 pills on Ruby, 13 pills would be, well, let's see, we've done 67 after the entire thing. Yeah, we would not be able to beat 65. Notice Ruby times 13 would be 65. She played 67 worth. Because Choco was able to cover an all-in Ruby, for whatever reason, that's one of the things the AI loves to do, is cover an all-in if it can. And now that there's only 3 pills left, this isn't really much of a match now, is it really? So at this point we just need to make sure that we do enough damage to get through here. And so 6 times 3 is 18, which is the max. So we'll just go ahead and play 1. Fury. So here, this is what I would call one of the secret bonuses to having someone like Ruby in your deck. At only 5 power, the AI is like, man, I'm just going to cover an all-in on this guy. And especially when I've got 2 DR, it looks all the more tempting. You know, a real player might even, well, maybe not all the way in, but a real player might fall for that kind of expecting you to play more for the damage at the beginning. And so all we need to do here again still is make sure that we are doing more damage than is coming at us. 8 times 3 is 24. We'd still be able to get caught there. 24, can we still pass that? Yeah, we can. Maybe 28 with, or more than that, Jose. Sorry, I was looking at Uranus again. Doesn't really matter, even if Jose Star only does 1 damage, because after this round, Grax will do enough to take us beyond the damage done by Choco, and we will be in a very good position. Even if Choco had Furied, there would have been no way for them to win this entire match. Okay, stage 5 is a lock. We're moving on to 6. Now we get into the slightly more difficult situations. Just to warn you ahead of time, if I lose one of these, I will just pause the game, get back to 6 or 7 or wherever it is that I lose on the next one, and then start filming again from there. So you don't have to watch me play the lower stages again. Just because I do not want these videos to take even longer. This is already a ridiculously long video. This is the one downside to adding commentary, is that if this video lasts like an hour, you know, it's going to take me forever to get this video actually made for you guys. Alright, and the AI has played first this time. So we've got Choco, Clover, Mina, and Selena. And we've got a lot of worry here, because we've got Choco here who can cancel our Murray if we're not careful. Selena here is going to get pills back. Mina, Clover. The best thing I can say right now is we've got to make sure that Selena does not make that 6 gap. Otherwise, between Clover and Choco and these others, we're going to have a lot of trouble. So I think we're going to go ahead and just play Uranus with nothing, and hope that Selena has also played nothing or played quite a few pills. We'll see. Alright, nothing. Excellent. So we lose our DR, that's the downside, but we did do 3 damage, which is excellent in this situation. Now, obviously, next we need to try and prevent too much damage being done to us, which I think, actually, this is going to be a little more interesting in a way. I'm going to try and see if I can force Choco to be played with, like, nothing. Because Choco versus Murray, Choco has no reason to go all the way in versus Murray. Like, there's no reason for any of that. And so because of that, I think it's beneficial for us to play Murray, to bring out Choco, to bring that cancel off life mod. And Choco is either going to play quite a few pills, or my guess is 0. Hopefully we will not get Clover. What? That is definitely not expected here. I guess they were trying to save it for damage-wise, but you just let me do 4 life gap and lost your highest damage card. And now when the opponent plays Mina, all I have to do is play Ruby for just 3, and then Jose Star, I believe, can beat Choco no matter what, because Mina's going to have to play at least 1 pill here. She's going to definitely play more than that. No way Mina's going to be played with probably just 2. Yep, we're going to see at least a few. And with that, you know, this game is all but over. Because Jose Star is going to be able to absolutely stomp all over Choco here. So, again, stage 6 is a lock. Not really sure what was going on there with that Clover play, though, because the card I had the least... I guess the reason would be because Clover wouldn't be able to do nearly as much damage versus Ruby. So my best guess is that the AI was simply trying to maximize a guaranteed amount of damage reduction that it could do by playing early. But instead, because I just had the right cards, it did not benefit the AI at all. So again, these matches, they're not being won with KOs or doing tons of damage, but you know, that's one of the keys in something like this, especially versus Pussycats. You don't need to KO the opponent. That's a huge mistake that a lot of people, I think, will walk into this thinking like, oh, the only way I know how to play UR is to KO the opponent. This is a real chance to show that you know how to play with a deck that is meant to last for 4 rounds. Alright, okay, so now we get into one of our first really difficult matches. We're going to go Clover, Florida Jane, Nabrissa, and Yayoi CR versus Murray, Uranus, Jose Star, and Nelly. Alright, so obviously Nelly is not going to be able to do that well versus quite a few of these cards. Could hold them. We cannot use our DR, we cannot really use Murray, and we cannot use Nelly that much, so Jose Star is our best bet. We're still going to force at least 2 pills. Knowing that a 6 power is probably going to be coming, I'm still guessing if Yayoi is played with any pills at all, probably a 0 pill. It's going to be quite a few. There's the 0 pill again. Again, guys, don't freak out when you see these cards at the beginning if you've got this huge attack manipulation bonus to where, again, my general understanding of the AI is if your attack manipulation forces the AI to play at least 2 additional pills to win, so 3 pills to win, usually it will not play anything at all. That is the general rule that I have noticed. Alright, I would love to play Uranus next. However, with Uranus next, that is going to be a huge issue with keeping them in check, so I think instead I'm going to play Nelly. This will either force a Nabrissa, which would have an advantage. Nabrissa would be at 6, but because it's still going to be over double, I would expect again to see this Clover Noel to come out next. Perhaps a high pill Florida Jane, I'm not sure, because both would be at 4. Okay, or just the normal 0 pill Clover in order to prevent too much damage being done, which normally I would be worried about, but obviously the AI needs to win this next round. Absolutely needs to win this round. Here's Nabrissa. Florida Jane is not going to be able to beat Murray no matter what, and so here, yeah, it's pretty much good game AI. So GG, stage 7 has been a lock. Oh, we're going to win all of our rounds as well. Once again, showing the power of attack manipulation plus an 8 power card. Just going against Pussycats who have nothing but their own. If we were going against someone like Louise, then we would be in much bigger trouble. Now we get into the section where it really hurts if you lose, because you have to go all those fights again. Here we go into stage 8. Hopefully we just don't get any bad draws. Alright, looking pretty good so far. We got Clara, Clover, Wanda, and Yayoi CR. Both Clara and Yayoi at partially semi-evo. Partially, just semi-evo. And we've got Murray, Uranus, Nelly, and Ruby here. So there's nothing here that really screams, you know, I need to worry about round 1. So I think to begin then, Nelly would get crushed by Yayoi CR. We'll go ahead and throw Ruby and hope that based on this Ruby throw, we're going to see either Clara or Yayoi CR throw enough pills to block 65 which is really 75 after the bonus, which is 10 pills. So I'm hoping for a 10 pill, like 10 pill Clara. 10 pill Wanda would be great. Or maybe we'll just see a 0. Nope, there's a 0. Alright, and that's excellent as well because we did 4 damage, which is about the average of what our opponent will be able to pump out. So, doing very well. Still have our DR. We've got Clover here. Not expecting this to be a whole lot of pills, honestly. I'm going to have to lead, which means that if I do not have Murray to combat either of these cards, we will be in a lot of trouble. And since we will have that SOA, I think we want to force. We'll play Uranus next, which will probably be countered with Yayoi, and then we can beat Clara with Murray. So that would be ideal for us, I do believe. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and play Nelly. Clover is going to expect that. We're going to only do 1 damage. That's okay, though. Doesn't matter. Fantastic. Could have played Murray, but again, we do not want to end up with the complete skunk against Nelly. Murray is going to be able to beat either of these cards no matter what, so we'll just throw Uranus. It doesn't even matter, because Murray will also be able to pump out enough damage, even if Yayoi CR decides to Fury, because then that will give us enough to Fury against Clara, and this game, Stage 8 is also a lock. I guess I'll take this time just to, again, for those of you who are newer players and maybe haven't realized this as I've been going through this, you are, in many ways, is a lot like chess, if you play chess or if you know chess, because it's not always about what your move is this time, as much as what your move will be in the following rounds. And so as you can see, I did not pick the best card for the round that I was on. Obviously, Murray would have been the best card to go against Clover. And that's one of the things that the AI is counting on. It's counting on you playing the best card for that round. Because removing that card from the equation makes the next few rounds easier for the AI to win. If you instead play with the next rounds in mind, that's going to put you in a much, much better situation, a much, much better place in order to win later on down the line. And so as you noticed, it was because I saved Murray that I could play a little more riskily on round 3, especially since we figured that Clover was actually not going to have any pills because she would need to play quite a bit if I played Nelly, because the AI has to take all of your remaining cards into consideration. Alright, we're at stage 9. Again, really hurts if we lose this one. Clover, Nabrissa, Roxy, and Yayoi CR versus Grax, Jose, Star, Nelly, and Salzburg. Again, we've got the SOA, we've got the full DR, we've got the minus pill threat, with only 1 damage though, which is one reason why I don't like Roxy, honestly. And then Nabrissa, who is no good on round 1, really. So again, one of the things we want to say in this case then is we want to save Salzburg in case we lose later because we've got Jose Star. And so Grax is going to be our secret weapon that can win against pretty much anyone here. We're just going to play Jose Star with nothing because Jose Star with nothing is 20. Even if Roxy goes in 2 pills for some reason and wins, we will still be equal on pills, which is okay. It will only be down 1 life. Again, we would rather not be down any life, but that's just the way it goes. We got Clover here, so this is going to be a 0 pill Clover. No way to play a whole bunch of pills on Clover. No reason to, versus Jose Star, which is excellent for us. Again, this is very nice because Salzburg can now follow up here with Nabrissa, and the gap will not be that wide either way if we need to versus Salzburg. So I think what we're going to do instead is... Nelly would still require a few pills. Nelly is not going to do well against Yayoi CR. This is one of the difficult points where we have to make a choice, because Nelly will be able to hold her own against Roxy, but not necessarily against the others. So I think I'm gonna play Salzburg here, because Salzburg is definitely our weak link that we do not want having against either of the cards in the next few rounds. Excellent. Nabrissa has played quite a bit. This ensures that we get our defeat. And because Nabrissa has played so many pills, because Nabrissa was worried about responding with, say, Nelly or Grax, who are basically about the same here, I can still beat Yayoi CR with Nelly. And that's really all that matters here, because it's really going to come down to how much damage gets done. I can do up to 6. All I need to do is prevent a Fury with Yayoi, which means that ultimately I think even if Roxy wins for 1, that's not going to be enough. I just need to prevent the Fury with Yayoi CR, which we can do with just 2 pills here on Grax. Even if we lose the pills to Roxy, we'll still have more than enough with Nelly. And so I believe this makes it a lock for our stage 9. The question is, will we see Roxy or Yayoi? We may see Roxy because of the 8 power. And Yayoi being stronger against Nelly. Okay, here is Roxy. Doesn't matter if Roxy goes all in or 2 pills or whatever, because it's still only going to be 1 damage. Won this round, and we will win our final round as well. I think one of the things people don't realize is that even when Nelly gets hit with SOA, against a 7 power card like Yayoi, it's still going to take 6 pills. Like, pill for pill, they're tied up to 5 because of that -10. It's really not that bad to be 2 power down with Nelly, as long as you've got your bonus. As long as you have your bonus. If you don't draw your bonus, though, you are in trouble. So we've been very lucky to have strong cards that have popped up when we did not get our bonus on either side. And now we are on the final match. At this point, I would say it's worth spending the credits if you fail. I got 25. So if I lose, I may just spend the credits, because going all the way through again to level stage 10 is just kind of a pain. And when you're already here, I think it's worth just trying it again. Hopefully I don't have to, though. All right. Well, good. It doesn't look like we're completely hosed. So far, at least. We've got Clover, Lucy, Slayer, and Yayoi CR. Our opponent has led with Clover. And we have Makra, Uranus, Nelly, and Salzburg. Okay, so not a lot of damage on Yayoi or Lucy. Clover is probably not played with too much, because I could easily play with Nelly or Makra, so this is almost definitely a 0. We need to save Makra for Slayer. Salzburg can also be used in order to force something else to come out. So I think I'm going to start Nelly. I don't want to do just 1 damage with Nelly, and just in case Clover has been played with a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and throw Uranus, because Uranus will not work against Yayoi CR anyway. Alright, so we get our 1 damage in so far. That's great. Now is when we want to lead with... Well, do we really want to lead with Salzburg? We do not want to lead with Salzburg, because that is definitely going to be met with Slayer. And not Slayer with a whole bunch of pills, because we're going to have to get 7... We're going to have to get 7 in versus Slayer. But it would only be 5 if I played Salzburg, which would be very easy to counter with the others, and we don't want Salzburg to be left versus Yayoi CR either. That is not something we want to see. We're also going to get to choose who goes against who. So I think we're going to go ahead and throw Salzburg anyway. I'm expecting to see Slayer. We actually could see a 0-pill Lucy here, which would be very interesting, I think. But chances are we will see Slayer. And then with Lucy and Yayoi left, I can match Makra versus Yayoi, hopefully, or Nelly versus Lucy. We do see Lucy. This is probably a low-pill Lucy. Yeah, I should have played 1 additional. But the nice thing about this, the very nice thing, and this is the reason why I'm not worried as of yet, is because Lucy only did 2, Salzburg is only going to do 2. Alright, so we've still got our pill lead. We have to look out for Slayer. If Slayer wins, we have lost. If Slayer wins, we have lost. And so we have to worry about Makra here. We could get a tie. Hopefully this is not an all-in Yayoi CR. If it is, with the chances are they're probably trying to make me play because they want this win with Slayer. So I think we can still beat Makra. We can still beat Slayer with Makra at 1 pill under, so just in case this is a very low pill Yayoi, let's go ahead and play one more. We can still beat her with this. There's no Fury. I believe we have won this. Fantastic. We have made it through all 10. No continues. So it looks like this deck, despite the fact that you really have to look out for that SOA, the abilities and everything works out quite well. We are very fortunate with our draw here in order to be able to counter Slayer. So, excellent game, and that's all. So we have now earned, what's her name? I don't remember. Is it Ashikaze Ld? Go ahead and take a look at her after this. Let's fast forward to the end here. The big hardcore star. Awesome, you finished the first season in normal mode. Try to beat the hardcore mode now and gather all the stars in order to unlock the ultimate. I just beat hardcore though. What? Anyway. And we have collected nothing, which is not true at all. We got a little bit of BP, and we also got our LD. So let's head into our collection. I'll do my collection, even though I know nobody is saying they particularly like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful for you to see kind of how I play and how I tend to think that the AI is going to respond. Ah, there we go. Alright. So, it looks like our LD is Ashikaze Ld, which is an absolutely amazing card. I love the artwork based off of, is it King of Fighters? Mai Shiranui, and, yeah, just really beautiful card in purple, especially in purple. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, I didn't even notice that it's got the virus type stuff going on there. That's awesome. The interesting thing is this looks like this is actually a combination of I can't remember her name, the other one with the demon girl with the special hands and Mai Shiranui. Anyway, what an amazing card. And 6/5 -1 op attack per life left. So finally some attack manipulation on a 3-star 6/5. That 5 damage, so deadly in Pussycats. What an amazing 3-star card. Absolutely fantastic. I love this release. So, I guess it's kind of almost a new blood review here at the end. How would I rate Ashikaze Ld? I would definitely use her in my deck, especially since a lot of the other 3-stars are already banned. Pussycats has always been weak to the attack manipulation, still has that DR. It's a min of 1 on the minus attack. That is crazy. There is only one other card in existence with a min of 1 on the attack manip, and that's that man. I mean, this is amazing. This means that Ashikaze is going to force even the attack manip clans to at least pill over the gap, which means that she's going to be an excellent early round card, especially when you still have a lot of life. And her ability works really well with her bonus, because the bonus is going to reduce the amount of damage. So unless they throw a large star count card on the first or second round, you're still going to have quite a bit of life left. So even if you lose a few, you're not going to lose a whole bunch. You're not going to lose like 5 or 6 health or life. You're only going to lose like probably 2 or 3 on average, which is still going to give you a -10, a -9, which is crazy good. So Ashikaze is an amazing 3-star card. I expect to see become a staple in a lot of decks for Pussycats. Absolutely amazing card. I love that it comes basically for free as long as you can finish off this first batch. And again, I hope that you did find this helpful. I'm going to go back to my deck again just to show you, because I think it's really important for you to know about how much money you're going to need if you want to copy exactly what I did. Uranus, Grax, Ruby, Murray, Nelly, Jose Star, Makra, and Salzburg. Again, Salzburg, not going to cost you that much. Jose Star, not going to cost you that much. Murray, not going to cost you that much. Grax, that's going to be a pretty penny. You're going to get Grax RB anyway. I think Grax RB is hovering around 50 or 60k right now. Makra, I don't remember where Makra is right now. Nelly, I think Nelly's hovering around 15 to 20k. Ruby, I believe, is around 10. Maybe she's gone up since then, I don't know. And Uranus is probably the most expensive card, maybe after Grax right now. I think Uranus is still around 50 or more K right now on the market. So you're looking at probably spending about 150K in order to get a deck like this together. But I used to have, man, I can't even remember her name now. I used to have Jackie CR in here, which was worth more than all of these cards combined together. So I have halved the price of this deck. This deck worked just fine for me. I did not need any extra goes at the levels, and so hopefully you'll be able to see this, and if you kind of try to think the same way that I did, and you don't lose your cool and go too far in with all of your pills, and of course if you're lucky enough with your draw, sometimes you just get a bad draw and there's nothing you can do about that. That is one reason why, if you notice in this deck, there are only 2 2-star cards and no 5-star cards. We have, what, 4 4-star cards? Nelly, not 4, 3. Nelly, Grax, and Makra. For 3 stars, we have Uranus, Ruby, and Murray. Yeah, sorry. And then we have 2 2-stars, Jose and Salzburg. You want to limit the number of 2-star cards you have. The worst draw you're going to get in this deck is 2 2-stars and 2 3-stars. And if you've got Salzburg and Jose Star can wall. Salzburg can still get the damage even if he walls as well, because he got that -2 defeat card, which is fantastic. And then if you get 2 of your 3 stars, then that means you're either going to get Murray, who's going to be immune to DR and has 8 power, so great to stop whatever the massive card is. You could get Ruby, which got that SOA, and against the AI is going to force the AI either all the way in or not get their ability, or Uranus, who is an absolutely amazing DR and is going to be able to make all kinds of trouble for the opponent. And so this deck, one of the important things for a deck when you're walking into arcade mode, especially in hardcore, is you need a solid all-around deck, and with a 5-star card in your deck, it's going to force more 2-star cards, which means your low-star draw is going to be a lot weaker, and if you get that 2-star draw at any point, especially on levels 7, 8, 9, or 10, stage 7, 8, 9, or 10, you're dead. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. Please go out, go forth, and get your Ashikaze LDs if you have not already. If you like this video, make sure to click that thumbs up down there. If you really like this video, then make sure to share it with your friends. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you've been in the zone.